Hey everyone, this is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia. Another daily update, another daily stream. I am streaming from the very south of Russia, the very heart of Russia, and I am giving you the daily updates of what is happening in Russia and what is important in my eyes. And what is important in my... Oh, I can hear myself. That's good. That's good. Mods, can you hear me well? Please give me 5x5. If you can. Lorna, thank you so much. And I would like to tell you about something that is, I can't even say concerning. It's in my eyes, in my opinion, that is tragedy in the making, and that's something that is reformatting everything, changing everything inside in Russia and outside of Russia as well. A lot of people are hurting, a lot of people will be hurting, a lot of people inside and outside of Russia. As I was streaming last night, I actually saw on a newsfeed news that American company called COCA COLA made a decision to leave Russia completely. It means that COCA COLA has 6 huge bottling plants here in Russia, and it produces all kinds of sodas. Well, not just sodas, but all kinds of drinks. Different pop sodas, Coke, Diet Coke, different flavored Coke, Sprite, Fanta, regular water, still water, and mineral water, and some other stuff. It also owns quite a few brands of juices, fruit juices. Some of the brands include the ones you will find at any Russian store. The brands are Dobry, kind, rich, in English, and some other ones. Most of drinks, carbonated and non-carbonated drinks that you find in large supermarkets in Russia, I would say a good part comes from Coca-Cola plants and from Coca-Cola company. Well, in March, in early days of this event, Coca-Cola voiced concerns and possible intentions of leaving Russia. But, the bigger the company, the harder it is to believe that it actually leaves. It actually closes all the doors. The first company, and it was a complete shock, was McDonald's. 65,000 people, 850 stores, huge logistics centers, huge farms raising potatoes and things like that. McDonald's was the first one. McDonald's was, I think, the bravest. They simply announced one day that tomorrow they would be closing the doors, and they did. I witnessed them closing the door. I was one of the last customers that McDonald's had in Russia, and it was a very sad day. No one had believed before. Everyone was saying, hey, no one's gonna leave, don't worry. Yeah, like I worry, like I worry, no one else is worrying. I've been told that. Don't worry, they ain't gonna leave. They making the buck. Buck is king. Buck is God. They're American international corporation. No one will let them leave. They're shareholders. My response was time will tell. And time told us. McDonald's left. McDonald's was actually the second one. The first big company was IKEA. It left days after the start of this operation. It actually closed doors in 2 days. Then the next one was Siemens. Well, I've said in my streams many times, Siemens was a juggernaut. It was a huge, huge company that had been present on Russian market for over 170 years. 170 years. Nothing was able to change Siemens' presence in Russia. Nothing. Not Bolshevik Revolution. Not World War II. Not, the Civil War in Russia. Not the communism that followed. Nothing. Nothing. And Siemens finally changed its mind and left Russia. Of course, another huge blow was Renault. Renault. French manufacturer that actually came in, entered Russian market and saved Russian manufacturer Lada. Saved, because Lada was falling apart. Renault came in as a strategical investor and strategic partner and started producing all kinds of good cars here in Russia. And then they left. They sold the factory to the Moscow government for, are you ready for this? 1 ruble. That's pennies. And now, another huge blow to Russian economy. Coca Cola. Well, my friends, Coca Cola is not just. It's not just Coke, It's not just the drinks. It's not just soda. Coca Cola is the symbol. It's the symbol of the Western world. And Coca Cola leaving Russia is very symbolic. Anywhere in the world you go to, anywhere, you will find Coke. Anywhere. Hot, cold, Africa, Australia, America, South, North America, Russia, Nordic countries up in the north. Anywhere, Coca-Cola will be among the products. Obviously not in Russia anymore, any longer. To me, Coca-Cola and McDonald's are the most symbolic losses that Russia has encountered. Because they are not just products, they are ideas. They are ideas that entered the market, that entered my country early in the 90s, and they were among the first ones. And now, these companies that represent the larger than life, they represent the West, the freedoms, the life, okay, the good life. They have left. They're not leaving, they have left. They, my friends, have left. Now, for the record, I barely drink Coke. It's full of sugar. It's not good for you. It's a soda, okay? But nevertheless, I'm not talking about Coke as a product. I'm talking about Coke as idea. Same about McDonald's. Rarely ate at McDonald's, but it was idea. It was the symbol that represented something big and something good. Same for the Coke. Now, I would like to tell you a little story of how I tasted the first Coca-Cola in my life. The year was 1989. The Soviet Union was in agony. It was very clear that things were not going well whatsoever. It was clear that, obviously we had bread lines, we had deficit of everything at the stores. Something was going terribly, terribly wrong. People started exploring possibilities of making money because the money that they were making at the regular government jobs, teachers, lawyers, doctors, those money were increasingly more difficult to survive on. So they started exploring opportunities, and one of the opportunities was to buy some goods that were not as of value in Soviet Union, and there were plenty available, and would hop on the bus, would get to Poland or Romania, would go to a flea market and sell these things to the locals, so they would, pay in American dollars. Then would buy something. Usually it was Coca Cola and cigarettes, Marlboro, and bring Coke and Marlboro back to Russia, Soviet Union, and sell it. Parents of a good friend of mine did that, and he was a sales agent, so to speak. They came back to, I think his father went to Poland, sold something there, got dollars, bought Coke, plenty of cigarettes, came to Rostov and started selling. How do you sell? It's year 1989. How do you sell things? You go and knock on your neighbors' doors and friends' doors. And everyone was selling. Himself, his wife, and his son, a good friend of mine. The son, one day, he showed up at the door, and he just opened a rucksack, and, he had this incredible thing in his hand, a 2-liter bottle of Coke. Red, shiny, festive. Me, my mom, and dad, we were like, wow. It's the first time we saw Coke ever. We had seen Pepsi, but Pepsi was manufactured in the USSR. It was something that you could get at the store, so it was different. Coke was absolutely something else. And my friend said, well, we're selling this. My dad brought quite a few, like a box, a crate from Poland, and then he's selling. And my mom said, how much? The kid named his price, and the price was outrageous. The price was, I think it was something like half of my mom's monthly salary that she was making as a head accountant, chief accountant of one of the factories in Rostov. Think about it. Half, one bottle of Coke, half monthly salary. At first I said too expensive, and then my dad came back and he talked to my mom. He said, listen, I can take extra shifts this month. Let's do it. And they actually bought the Coke. They bought the bottle. We treated it as if it was. It's hard to explain. It was as if we went inside the Egyptian pyramids and we found an artifact. Okay, and we would put it on the table and we'll be ogling it, and that's exactly what happened. Anyway, we actually tried Coca-Cola for the first time. I tried it for the first time in my life. I drank most of it. I was a teenager, and my mom and dad just had a few sips, and they were not impressed with the Coke. It was like, oh, we had Pepsi before or something. But I was absolutely sold to this shiny bottle. It wasn't the drink for me. It was the lifestyle, okay? And it was incredible. That's how I tried Coca-Cola for the first time. Then what happened was quite remarkable in Russia. We also had like another friend of a family, a business person. He was always trying to make money in the USSR. He would go to a farm, buy something, and come back to a bazaar, would sell it, The guy was a natural-born trader. And him and his buddy actually flew to Turkey. And Turkey had Coca-Cola, that bottling plants. They somehow made a deal with the Turkish, and Turkish gave them an entire ship full of Coke. And they brought the ship into Soviet Union. I think year was 1991, right before everything like broke down, fell apart. And they actually sold it. Some of the money was stolen by mafia. Mafia was already there in existence in the USSR, and some they actually kept. Some of the money they kept. My friend made tons of money, and he decided to do it again and again and again. That's how he decided to bring Coca Cola into Russia. You gotta understand, there weren't any vendors back then. There was nothing here. Okay, just a ship full of Coke bottles, right? But the Turkish guys, they were smart, and they figured they didn't want to lose an opportunity, so they came to Russia right after the USSR was fell apart, and they signed some kind of agreement with the headquarters of Coca-Cola, and they got Russia as their territory. So they built 6 plants, bottling plants, huge plants. One of them was in Rostov, and gosh, they started making Coca-Cola here, and they started selling it left and right. It was not expensive anymore because it was produced locally, and it still represented the lifestyle. It still represented the American life, really. So the rest is history. Now, what is going to happen with us, with the Russians, and with Coca-Cola? Will we still be able to drink it? Again, Coca-Cola has announced that it's leaving Russia. It has left Russia already. It stopped manufacturing of all soft drinks here, and it's just selling what's left in the warehouses, and that's it, and it's leaving. It has huge assets here, 6 bottling plants, so much invested into Russia, warehouses, logistics, infrastructure, and so forth. I guess they're gonna just leave this if they don't find the buyer. As soon as they announced, there was a news in the Russian media that a Russian company was going to take over after Coca-Cola and bottle and produce Coke under different brand. And the brand is Funky Monkey. You heard me right. Funky Monkey. Okay. The news made like number 1 spot right after the Coke announcement that it was leaving. Turns out it was hype because that company, the owner of a brand, has tiny plant in the central Russia, and it just made the news, okay? And it said, oh, we're going to buy all Coca-Cola plants. It's nice, but they just don't have the money, and they don't have means to do that. So Coke is leaving, but whether it's going to sell its assets or it's going to just forfeit everything, it's unclear. Most likely it'll sell for pennies on dollar, okay? Just like everyone else. And it's a sad story. It's a sad story because so many people gonna lose jobs. I don't even know how many people involved in those logistics of Coke in Russia. For example, how many people employed at the bottling plants? How many people involved in moving Coca-Cola all over the country? How many people are involved in logistics? In how many sales reps there are? How many people are gonna lose jobs? What are they gonna do? And I'm sure that next time I speak to some of Russian people, they're gonna tell me, "Don't worry, it's gonna be good for you, because Coke is not healthy for you. Drinking Coca-Cola is bad, bad, bad. We will come up with our own drinks that are healthy, that are good for you, that are, that medicinal. There's gonna be Russian brands." Just give me a break. Before I end the message, I will refresh your memory and I will tell you how many companies have left, big companies have left Russia, and what happened to them. Reebok basically left Russia. It sold its assets in Russia to Turkish FLO Retailing. The deal closed. It's been closed for a long time ago. Reebok lost tons of money on this deal. Renault, huge car plant in the middle of Moscow. No, wait a second, not in the middle of Moscow. It's Avtovaz. Okay, it's Taliati. Anyway, huge production of cars was sold for 1 ruble to Moscow government. 1 ruble. It means that Renault has written off about 3.5 billion euro, $5 billion. Well, full 4.5. Finnish company Raisio Food sold 100% of its business to a Russian company. It was sold in a rush, and Finnish company lost tons of money. Heineken decided to leave Russia and decided just to give business to a local operator. One of deal conditions was to keep all people employed. Okay, we gotta thank Heineken for that. Silvamo, American company that produces paper, Svet Copy, left all the assets and left Russia. Valio, a Finnish company, a large company that manufactures, produces or produced butter here in Russia, left. Sold business. It's unclear at how much, but the rumors are pennies on dollar. Anheuser-Busch InBev, a company from Belgium that owns lots of beer brands and brew and beer in Russia, decided to leave. Decided to, sell business to Turkish partners, Anadolu Efes, OB, European company, gave all the assets to the employees who work in Russian stores. Societe Generale, French bank, sold its business, Russian business, to a Russian bank, Rosbank. Okay, rumors are that it was a cheap sale. French has lost lots of money on that. Imperial Brands, British Tobacco, sold to local investors here in Russia, lost tons of money. Shell, British Dutch company, Shell, has sold its network of gas stations to a local company domestic company called Lukoil, lost tons of money. Among other mentions are Mondi, Stora Enso, Unicredit and Citigroup, the companies that are live in Russia as well. And of course, I didn't mention McDonald's. McDonald's left. It sold assets to a local, one of the local franchisees, lost tons of money. I don't even know how much. It's hard to think. And this franchisee has opened one or a few restaurants, basically mimicking McDonald's. My friends, to me, it is a sad day. I don't know how about to other Russians. You should ask them. But to me, it's a very, very sad day for my country. Economy has taken a huge blow. Competition, consumer well-being has taken a huge blow. So many people have lost jobs. So many investors have lost their investments. So many foreign companies who trusted Russia and Russian markets way back, and decided to move in and do the capital spending, building factories, logistic infrastructure, warehouses, they got conned. This is a lose-lose situation. No one wins here. Russian consumers lose, Western companies lose, Western investors, owners of the companies lose, Russian companies lose. Russian budget loses huge because there will be so much less taxes generated by these companies. Well, there will be none from the companies who have left. Okay, so this is a huge, huge lose, and this is a sad day for my country. Sad stream today. I'm going to turn on the chat. My message is done. This message is more of a information for you. I just delivered you the information that I received yesterday and today from Russian media. Not great. Please keep the chat clean. Please follow a few rules I'm going to tell you. Make common sense the king of the discussions in the chat. Please, no snide crude remarks or hostile comments. No crude usernames. English only. We speak English here, no other languages. If you're a troll, just don't come here. You're not gonna last long. This stream is for subscribers only. There are some blacklist topics. They are everything Ukraine, everything referring to actions of the Russian army, anywhere. Number of casualties in different countries, including Russia and neighboring countries, criticism of Russian leadership. These are topics that can get any creator into trouble these days. Please stay away from them. Thank you so much, and I am about to turn the chat. I have seen some of you today already. Reese Gray. I think Reese is not going to be in this live stream, in this chat, but he has already been twice today. He was in Patreon chat and sponsor chat. Today is Friday, and every Friday I run exclusive chats for sponsors and Patreons, people who sign up for both programs or for one of the programs and support me. They get opportunities to ask me personal questions and get into a much slower, much more relaxed streams. We usually have up to 10 people in the streams every Friday, so I make sure that all questions are answered. So Reese is back. Reese, I thought you were bottling wine. Reese is number one today. Number one in messages and number one in super chats. All right. How do you say that? The remaining champion. Regaining champion. Anyway. The old champion coming back. Dirk, Lorna, Robert, Mommy, Bruce, Zdenek, Joy, Harry, Brianna B, Sylvia, Mommy, Krista C, Amir, Donna, IKDA, Ryan Smith, hello, long time no see. We were in chats with Reese and Ryan. James Rhodes, I'm not sure if he's here or not. But thanks for the super chat, Reese. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. Does Russian citizens' lack of understanding of business ethics mean that they apply ethics situationally? Yes, I'll explain in a second. How can there be no ethics in business but still ethics in other aspects of life? The second question I cannot answer because that I would like to get an answer to that question myself. Very, very good question. First question is, yes, I would not say that there's a complete lack of ethics in Russian business, but in the USSR, the ideology was the king. It was very strong. It was forced upon people, and one of the things was camaraderie, friendship, family was number one. Money not important. Okay, other things, spirituality, being part of a group, being part of the country, that's what important. Interests of the country above your interests. That was ideology, and that's what lots of people, generations, believed in. All of a sudden, comes 1991, everything falls apart, and black becomes white, white becomes black. And then same people who were talking about this ideology, all of a sudden, they just turn around and say, hey, you know what? Making buck is the king. Everything else not important. Money is important. And this is where ethics died, or they weren't born. Okay, because people figured, hey, back in the USSR, they were telling us one thing, and it turns out to be a lie. So everything was said there is a lie, and now we're just gonna make money. That's it. And oh my God, what followed was pretty bad. Cost of human life was close to zilch. Murders left and right. No one really cared. If you wanted to get rid of competition, you would just hire gunmen and kill them. That's what a lot of people did actually in the days. I think that's low ethics. They come from those times when buck making dollar was the king. Was everything else could be justified just for making dollar. I hope I answered your question, Reese. If you want me to notice your comments, please put them in caps. Otherwise, there's good chances I will not notice. Hello, friend from Parrish, Florida. Allison, thank you so much. Hello. Sending love from Russia to Parrish, Florida. Amir, here's a gallon of diesel for the mega yacht. Yeah. Yep, going on a mega yacht tomorrow. Waiting for you. Show up. Show up tomorrow. 1 hour before the stream. That's the cutoff, Should get you almost across the Don. About halfway, $5. Gotta get you smiles. Where you can, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you, Amir. You did. Made me smile. Plug me. What are your thoughts on running on eastward pipeline, particularly without help of the West? Doesn't it take a minimum of 5 years to implement? Don't count on that. My understanding is that you're absolutely right. It's going to take a long time, but very few of you know that there is a pipeline constructed, and it's called the Power of Siberia, or Siberian Power, Sila Sibiri. They built the pipe. Turns out that the gas fields where they built it to, they don't have any gas, or they have not the amounts of gas that they had expected, because someone did a bad research. Okay, so there is a pipeline already built eastwards. It's empty. As far as I know, it's either not operational at all, or it's just operating at a fraction of what it's supposed to be. I don't think we should count on running an eastward pipeline, even if we could manage to build a pipeline so fast to China. Well, you know where eastward leads to. The Chinese would blackmail us, and they would start buying our gas by pennies on dollar. I mean, you can't count on those guys, okay? They know that we are in a weak position right now. They know that everyone, including Kazakhstan, is turning away from us. Today was a huge, I would say, scandal, but I don't know, it wasn't a scandal. It was a message that Kazakh president, who is meeting all the big presidents, including Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg, he sent a message. He clearly said that Kazakhstan is not going to recognize Donetsk and Lugansk as sovereign states because they're not. That's it. It was like a slap in the face. So, answering your question, don't count on that. I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think that the customer, the consumer, and the buyer of gas is reliable and trustworthy on the other end. Edmund, Lively, thank you so much. Interested to know how your company is doing. Are you able to find alternative software solutions? Love you, brother. Thank you for sharing. Edmund, thank you so much for good words. Thank you for the message, question, and thanks for the super chat. Company is doing. That's the most important thing. We are in business. Some of the customers are, some of our employees are at home because most of our projects in Russia have been frozen. There are a couple, crawling forward, not going forward, but crawling forward. And there are a couple projects overseas in Kazakhstan that keeping us alive. But quite a few engineers are working 3 days work weeks, and the salaries have been cut accordingly, which is kind of fair to them. No one has been laid off. Okay, we're trying to always keep people and never to lay off. It's like the action of last resort, so to speak. There is an alternative to software solutions. Honestly, I don't know. I will check with our engineers and IT guys. I know that we had some licenses good for until September. In some, I think half of our licenses have expired already. So perhaps they're using valid licenses of AutoCAD, since half of the engineers only work three days a week. Perhaps that's helping. But I will check on that on Monday. Brianna, thank you so much. Once China had their hooks into you, no one could pry them loose from your country. Just my 2 shillings worth. I love that. I always say in Russia, my 2 kopecks or 5 kopecks. 5 копеек. In American, in the USA, they say, here's my 5 cents or 5 cents, right? And you say 2 shillings. It's the first time I ever heard someone saying 2 shillings. That's pretty cool. I absolutely agree with you. You are spot on about that country. What can I say? It's pretty sad that we have to look eastwards instead of westwards. Thank you so much for the message and thanks for the super chat. Rightis, howdy, good stream today. What about unemployment benefits for all people who lost a job? My friend, you haven't been to Russia lately, have you? I'm sorry, this is funny because what are you talking about? What unemployment benefits? Yeah, is the government doing anything about it? No, not doing. As far as I know, Vladimir Putin is telling that unemployment should stay low, and that's pretty much it. I don't know of any real steps they're taking to actually keep people occupied. Thanks for the question. Divon, Elvira Nabiulina calls for economic perestroika away from gas, oil, and raw exports to IT technologies economy. I agree. Stay strong. Divon, that's not a question, it's a message. And I agree with Elvira Nabiulina. Okay, she's a very smart lady, and she's the only one out of Russian government who's been sober and who's been saying common sense. Okay. She was in front of a Russian Senate, State Duma, about a month ago, and I think even before that. And she basically said it like it is. Oh, we're going to incur real hard time. You just don't have any illusions. Get ready for this. And it's not going to be like towards the end of the year. It's gonna start in the middle of summer, just about now. That's what she said, And everyone was like, wow, She's not giving us all this sweet candies and stuff. And she was basically, she said yesterday she sent everyone a message, which is absolutely truthful, fair. She said, you know what, get ready. These sanctions are not going to go disappear. Nothing's going to get back to normal soon. That's either for a very long time or forever. And I applaud her. She's the first person out of high-ranked Russian officials who said that. She's calling for economic perestroika, yes, but she kind of has nothing else to do because away from gas, oil, and raw exports, no one is buying our gas, oil, and raw exports anymore. They're still buying oil, they're still buying gas, but you know what? That's beginning of the end. Because have you heard of the sanctions from European Union forbidding European countries to buy our oil? Forbidding towards the end of the year. So Elvira Nabiulina is calling for perestroika for good reason, because without perestroika, there will be nothing. With perestroika, they might even get something in terms of IT technology companies and things like that. So, commented your question. Thank you, HT, for $20. Stay safe, brother. Come back to the USA when you can. Thank you so much. I receive your message. Thank you. The keyword here is when you can. Alison Moyers. Oh, I saw that already. David Moyers. Parrish, Florida. The new rumor is that you bought... Yeah, oh my gosh. Don't tell anyone. What are you talking about? The new rumor is that you bought the Coke plants with all their millions. Yeah, you know, that's not a rumor. That's actually true. I made many millions yesterday and day before yesterday from the super chats, of course. So this morning I cashed out. I took all the money and I bought all the Coke plants, you know. Konstantin, Kostya's Cola. Thank you. It was a good one. I don't think I missed anyone. I got quite a bit of criticism for prioritizing super chat messages over regular messages. Well, every time a person sends me money in the form of super chat, this is my policy. I always acknowledge. I thank you. I thank person who does that, and I definitely read the message. So super chats come and read first, and after that, everyone else's message. So that's how I run the chats, and I think this is very respectable and very thankful to people who actually do send money. If I was to send someone super chat, I would like to get acknowledgement for that. So, and I act accordingly to how I want it to be treated. I treat people just the way that I want to be treated myself. That's pretty much it. Susan Hadley, love your Coca Cola story. Reminder to value even the littlest of luxuries. Things can change in the blink of an eye. Thanks for sharing it with us. Susan, thank you. It's not a message. It's not a question. It's a message, but it's a very deep message. And let me tell you, things are changing in a blink of an eye. Things are changing so fast and they're so profound, these changes, that I feel like I just sit here and the entire world is like going past me with the speed of light, you know, with like 1,000 miles an hour. And I just sit here and I go, wow, okay, this is how it feels in Russia. And it would be totally understood by me, except for one problem, okay? That's driving me absolutely nuts. That I am just looking at this thing and I go, this is nuts. This is not supposed to be happening. This is crazy, okay? And then there are some other Russians. They think, well, that's normal. Oh, that's okay. Well, don't worry about it. That's totally fine. Oh, we will prevail. We will survive. We're gonna get up from our knees. We're gonna get stronger. Oh, look at the Russian ruble, strongest currency in the world, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, Jesus, give me some of that good stuff that you're drinking, okay? This what makes it the Met Circus. So thanks for the message and thanks for Super Chat. Stat Musician, it's good to see you again. Stat Musician was earlier in the live stream. Thank you so much for Super Chat. Thank you for the news and the stories. I'm going to give you a couple more stories, a very personal story about my ancestors, how they got shot by the commies. I'm going to a village where my mom was born on Sunday. I was thinking of streaming from there, but mobile signal is non-existent. I won't be able to stream, unfortunately. I can only film and then later upload and show you. I'm going to show you what's going on with Russian wheat, how Russian farmers grow wheat this season. What's going on? I might interview a couple people, not sure, but I will try, and I will show you where my ancestors come from. Okay, and basically I'll make a movie about a Russian farm, perhaps a walk through a Russian farm or something like that. BLP Rogue. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. $50. Thank you so much. Constantine Brian from Egan saying hello. Still watching the stream almost every day. Thanks for everything you are doing here. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for watching the streams. Thank you for sending this message, and thanks for sending $50. That's huge help. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. You can count on me showing up every single day and continue doing what I've been doing. It just does not get boring here in Russia these days, okay? There are messages and messages every single day. If I could do live streams twice a day, I would do them. I would have enough material, okay? Unfortunately. Committees are more rational than individuals. Bring back the Politburo. Steven, I'm not sure what you're trying to call to do, to bring back the Politburo. Well, if you want me to bring back Politburo, if it's not a joke, okay? Perhaps it's a joke. I have a fair trade for you. You come to Russia and I'll take your place. Anywhere you are outside of Russia, right? And then you can bring Politburo back. How about that? Is it a fair trade? Camp House, hello, hello. David, Pepsi is being boycotted in the West now. For what? Mama Two Boys, I'm so glad to see the Campbell's t-shirt. Yes, it's a rare sight. Bought a brand new chair, very fancy, very expensive, you know. And that's noise it makes. I'm afraid to, find myself sitting on my butt on the floor, unexpectedly. That's Russian products for you. Proudly made in Russia. The company is called Roschair, Russian chair. Then, Nita, like you said some time ago, Russia will become self-sufficient. Coca-Cola will be replaced with vodka cola. Yeah, it will be. I would say Coca-Cola will be replaced with Funky Monkey. That's what they're saying. I'm not making this up. Washington, D.C. in the house. Oh, that's that musician. Okay. Oh, you've been in the house for quite some time. IGL Danka, 2018. FIFA World Cup, that was the peak. Yes, I agree with you. Well, the peak really, I think the peak was the Olympics. 2013, early 2014, the Olympics were magnificent in Sochi. Um, Russia was doing great economically. We were doing fantastic. Times were good. We were considered friend, not an enemy. Good times. I will remember them for a long time. Jeffrey S., welcome. Hello, Mr. K. Do you think countrymen are prepared to handle this new takeover in these companies? Yeah, right. The first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna start tearing the companies apart and selling things. They've done that before, back in the early 90s when they got huge factories from USSR. You know what the new owners started doing? They started selling this machines, manufacturing machines, high-tech machines that cost millions of dollars for weight of metal, because there were so many of these machines, that an owner would sell half of them, would get like $5 million and would just depart, go to France to live the rest of the life. That's how they handled assets in early 90s. Something tells me we're gonna see similar stories. Lori Lane, hello from Texas. Howdy, howdy. What will these people do for jobs now? And that's a question I would love to know the answer for. I don't know. I'm crying out here. I'm screaming left and right. People, what about all these people who are being laid off? What are they gonna do for jobs? How are they gonna feed their families? How are they gonna pay their mortgages, credit cards? What the hell? Well, no wonder that they've started stealing butter from regular supermarkets. That's the first sign, early bird sign, I say, of people getting laid off. Gotta feed the families somehow. Tomatentum, hello Constantine, greetings from southern Germany. I've been watching your videos with great interest these past few weeks, and this is the first stream I managed to see live. Thanks for everything. Thank you so much, my friend. Danke schön. William, do you think Russia was ready for democracy in 91? That's a really deep question. It's a question more from philosophy than from anything else. I don't know. There are some cons and some pros. Some things point to it was ready. Some that it wasn't ready. It's difficult. Jeffrey, what the fudge? I watched that movie that most of you watched, The Christmas Story, about that kid, who wanted to get a present, the air gun, the BB gun. And then there was one instance, he did something really bad, and he was like in front of his father, like, what the fudge? And then he was telling later on, he said, of course it's not the fudge that I said in front of my father. I got punished for that. So that kind of stuck with me, and I say, what the fudge now? Love watching mods and actions. Well, Mama, two boys. Mods are great, and like before the streams, I say rules out loud, and then I take it the ones who don't follow the rules, the actions taken against them. And Bear 13, you are not anywhere as close as we are in terms of ethics, and honor is the dollar. You have no clue. You are kindergarten children compared to us in this department, okay? You still have honor and ethics in my eyes. Dave Canada, you're absolutely right. That's no one really in Russia thinks about that. They're saying, "Oh, they left. They will come back as soon as this is over." And I'm saying, "No, they won't." Don't you understand? They. That's it. This is like the black territory, the burnt land. They're not gonna come back. And new companies, new investors. You gotta be crazy to actually start thinking about working here. I mean, companies lost so much money. Who lost money? Who lost? The shareholders, the investors, the hedge funds. Okay, they've lost money. They're gonna write off huge, huge losses at the end of the year. But Russians don't think about it. Devon, another question. Keep on moving. Nothing to see here. The Russian ruble is the best performing currency in the world. Well, that's what I've been told quite a few times. There are some people on YouTube they've said about that. I am making my own video about Russian ruble. I'm going to tell the truth the way I see it. Okay, as an economist, as a executive, as a former business person, I'm gonna tell you the truth about the ruble. Please don't get upset, ruble. Time. Watching time. Lorna, thank you so much. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, and I would like to ask you to pray with me. I have a couple important messages, prayers, askings for help, and I would like you all to join me. If you're a believer, please do. If you're a non-believer, still do, and please help us to send good vibes and energy to some people who need help. Dear God, please forgive our sins. Thank you so much for the day that you've given us. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for putting roofs over our heads and surrounding us with good people. Thank you for other loved ones, children, our parents, and siblings and families. Thank you. Please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Use your power to stop the bloodshed in my neighboring country. Please touch everyone's heart and fill with love everyone, including the ones who make decision on whether to stop or continue the bloodshed. Please stop the bloodshed. Fill them with love so they make the decision. Move them. Push them. Please help everyone who has been hurt, who has been relocated, who has been help families of those who fell, who were killed or died. I'm asking for everyone. I'm asking for Ukrainian people, for Ukrainian soldiers, and for Russian soldiers, for everyone. Please stop so there will be no more deaths and no more blood shed. Please help my country. Send strong angels with sharp swords, led by Saint Michael, to get rid of demons that have hijacked my country, and have angels around my country. Make it shine again, please. Thank you. Send our wisdom, and so that way we can bring up our children in a way that when they grow up, they make this world a better place and will never fight with one another. Please help everyone who's helping Ukrainians, Europeans who open their doors of their homes, people who send in prayers, wishes financial support, people who are providing food, things. Please help them. Also, please help everyone who's helping other people, Ukraine or not. Help us praying in this virtual community. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for giving us opportunity to pray. Thank you for being here right now. Thanks for praying. Help those who pray and help those who watch us pray. Answer praying people prayers and make their wishes come true. I would like to ask you for a few people. They reach out and ask to mention their names, so we all pray for them. And they have their wishes answered and prayers answered. They are Nayan Veka, Michael, Ellen, Rafaela, Anna, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Buzz, and Mary, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Michael, Marlene, Maddie, Narnian Lady, Susan S., Sabrina, Susan, Fiona, Madeline, Steve, Ellen, Sandy, Priscilla, Micheline, Martin, and there are three children on the list. Two are Sebastian and Maverick. Please help them and help their families. And also there is a child I would like to ask to pray for. Her name is Britzel Andrews. She's battling a disease and she needs a miracle from you, dear God. And a lot of people praying right now and praying for her. Please show you how you shine and how you create miracles. She needs your help and her family needs your help. Please help her. Also, I'd like to ask for Ariana. She's been in pain for years and she's asking for your help as well to relieve her pain and give her healing. She's asking for Saint Michael to help her. Please be it so. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to pray and ask you. Amen. My friends, thank you very much for coming. It's been a good stream, heavy stream, not like the one yesterday. But hey, there are some easy streams and hard streams, not much we can do. I'm planning on taking you to an interesting place in Rostov tomorrow for a walking tour. I hope that you're gonna like it and please enjoy. I'm gonna take my wife Natasha with me and we will try to make it fun for you. And in case a miracle happens and there's a good cell signal, there's no Wi-Fi, I'm gonna be at a remote farm on Sunday, and if I'll be able to, then I will make a little tiny stream. We'll see. If not, then I will record, film lots of videos, and then I will upload in the following week. Thank you so much for joining today. You are absolutely awesome and you rock. Please come back tomorrow and keep on coming back every day for more updates from Russia. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. And how would I end the stream? Gotta get up. Gotta get up and actually do it from the phone.